Dominica. But, Madam Speaker, in the midst of all this global uncertainty and confusion, well over 13 years ago, the Dominican 14 community, the Dominica voters, both in Dominica and overseas, had taken a decision that in time of crisis, you need solid people in charge of the country. And although we lost two dynamic leaders, the Dominican electorate, both at home and overseas, turned to Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit to steer the ship of Dominica to economic prosperity. I am indeed happy that I have been given the opportunity to work with this solid team from 2009. Madam Speaker, in the midst of all of this noise going on around us, we must never lose sight of where we were when UWP led this country. The gross mismanagement by the UWP which wrecked the Dominican economy. An era of governance which we must never allow to repeat itself. Today, Madam Speaker, we are a model for the Caribbean. We are not there yet. We have work to do, but we are on a path of prosperity in this country. Madam Speaker, let me turn my attention to the budget of 2014, Madam Speaker.
Just 1 minute, please. There are persons in the gallery upstairs. I wish to let them know that it is very disturbing when they move about like that. When you come in, you take your own seat. You're free to sit where you wish. But please, stay there until you leave. If you wish to go to the washroom, you go and you come back. But this business of changing seat, this is not musical chairs.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Today, Madam Speaker, with the confidence placed in us by the Dominican community, and with the trust we have in the hardworking people of this country, we are able to present a budget with no new taxes. Under the capital appropriation, Madam Speaker, I am indeed excited to share with my constituents and the Dominican public in general the allocation in the Ministry of Employment, Trade, Industry, and Diaspora Affairs of some $21,874,622. And Madam Speaker, under the Ministry of Employment, Trade, and Industry, and Diaspora Affairs, this government has taken the decision to work towards empowering the youths. Measures in this ministry over the years have empowered hundreds of young people in this country with their own businesses, with employment, and you name it, they get it. But I intend to name a few, Madam Speaker. We've seen the provision of well over 400 jobs for our professionals under the NEP, Madam Speaker, within the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Diaspora Affairs, Madam Speaker. I can tell you, Madam Speaker, in the Castleber's constituency, all our university graduates are currently employed, and it's all because of the job provided for them within the Ministry of Trade, Industry, and Diaspora Affairs, Madam Speaker. Not one of them are unemployed as we speak. They are working, yes, under the NEP program,
Can just a minute, please. I'm saying again, members, If you want to make your sides, you may do so. But please try to do so in a manner that does not distract the person speaking. I've been telling members that for the whole morning. Okay, yes. You cannot stay in your place and be shouting across. This is not good. Okay, and Standing Order 86 tells me that I have to regulate and conduct the business in the House. I'm not just doing what I want, I'm doing what I have to do. Please, members, please, can we have this thing running nicely?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. They are currently employed in the banks, in the Ministry of Agriculture, the Ministry of Sports, you name it. Our young persons who came back from university who were not employed yet are presently employed and are providing for themselves and their parents who made the sacrifice for them to go out to study. Over 15 students from my constituency who graduated from the Dominica State College who were not yet employed and presently gainfully employed under the NEP. Madam Speaker, all the staff of the Roving Caregivers Program in Casaros, a program get at early intervention for the birth to 3-year category, bringing right stimulation so that when the children get into preschool and primary school, they are ready, they have the zest for life at that early age. They are well stimulated and ready for preschool so that they can take advantage of the opportunities created for them by this government. All the staff of the Roving Caregivers Program, which the funding agencies from overseas like the Bernard Van Lee Foundation, who used to sponsor this program, they've all pulled out. And today, thanks to the Ministry of Trade, all of the staff employed in this program, their salaries are secured for the next 3 years. Thank you very much, Mr. Honourable Colin McIntyre. Madam Speaker, 8 young men are currently employed in the beautification project with brush cutters, barrows, you name it, all the equipment they need, chainsaw. They are currently employed on a short-term employment. Their stipend is being paid through the village council, and they are presently beautifying their community. Additionally, Madam Speaker, immediately after this budget, we will see 21 small businesses being started again under the NEP program. Madam Speaker, through the small business program, and this is very significant, 22 small businesses in the Casaros constituency got financial assistance. 25 farmers got assistance for fertilizer and other inputs for their farms. 3 individuals got assistance for the music business in the area. Today, you go to a party, you go to a wedding, there is a meeting, the system that is used are basically from funds provided by the small business units, and we have free systems in the community where young guys are gainfully employed, providing amplifying system and music system for all functions in the community under the small business program. 2 individuals receive masonry tools. And Madam Speaker, I need to note it, because if you're not careful, Mr. Speaker, they will give you the impression that nothing is happening. 3 individuals purchase chainsaws to work in the local lumber industry, all sponsored by the small business unit. Mr. Speaker, 2 individuals were able, and interestingly, through the small business unit, with support from the government, we were able to even assist students in education, higher education, under the small business units. 2 individuals in the hairdressing business. So you could come up to Casaros and you will get a proper hair done, and the establishment have received support with equipment and dryers and you name it, whatever, to keep their business going. 2 individuals in the fishing industry, and 2 individuals in the fishing industry. And Mr. Speaker, this is important. There was this family, they were fishing in Marigot. They had to travel every day to get to Marigot to fish in somebody else's boat. Today, they have both their boat and their motor, and they are fishing in the Casablanca waters every day, providing for themselves and their family, thanks to the small business unit. 3 families were assisted in boosting their livestock business in the pork business. So, Mr. Speaker, we have benefited within the Casablanca constituency through the small business program under the ministry. And we're looking forward to, as soon as the budget passes, because we're going to continue. We have plans for a chicken project for Pidi Souffrier, a poultry project for Pidi Souffrier. We have plans for the farmers, young farmers of DIPA. The projects are in, and Honourable McIntyre and I will be spending some quality time together as we unfold projects for young people and we keep our young people occupied.
Quality time.
Yes, quality time. Mr. Speaker, I'm not going to spend too much time on this particular topic, but I am very thankful to the office of the Prime Minister for the support that we have gotten over the years with rapid emergencies for surgery overseas, for all sorts of medical assistance, for funeral grants, you just name it. There is an emergency in the community, a letter is prepared by the individual, make no mistake, a letter is prepared by the individual, signed by the individual or a relative of a representative of the family. It is taken to the Prime Minister's office with an invoice, and within a matter of days, a letter is prepared or a check is prepared, and these persons are on their way to Martinique, to Barbados, to Guadeloupe, you name it, they get it, and they come back healthy and make meaningful contribution to their community. I want to thank the Prime Minister's office for the continued support we have gotten in this area. You may want to play down the funeral assistance, but I can tell you, when a family dies and there is no one to assist, the ministry, the Prime Minister's office comes into play, and everybody gets a dignified burial with the support of the Prime Minister's office. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, today, anybody who dies in my constituency without any relative to take care of them, they call the parish rep. Do you know that person dies? And I automatically take charge and give them a dignified burial with the support of the Prime Minister's office. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Education and the Minister of Education, the office is very close to my office. It's just 5 walking steps away. Because, let me go on record and say that the Ministry of Education has gone out of the way, and the minister in particular, in supporting the education drive that I have for the Castle Bruce constituency. And so, I am eternally thankful to the government, and with a sense of pride, I recognize the gains we have made in education in the Castle Bruce constituency and in Dominica in general. Of course, the minister will report on the ministry, but I want to re-emphasize the investment of this government in education in this country. And Mr. Speaker, investment in education is investment in education is investment in young people. Investment in education is empowering young people. Investment in education is preparing the entire country for a new economy and for a brighter future. And so, Mr. Speaker, the number of students attaining associate degree program, and we must note that, rose by 972% from 2001 to 2011. This is significant. We're talking about a 900% increase in young people gaining associate degree, employing themselves for a job, not only here, but across the globe. And if you travel across the Caribbean, our young people coming out of the state college, they are holding good jobs, thanks to the foundation they got. No longer when you leave Dominica and you travel, all you could hold was a shovel or a trowel. Today you fit in to the working system in any country you enter, coming out of Dominica, because of the opportunity given to you by nobody else but the Dominica Labour Party government. Mr. Speaker, the percentage of students leaving secondary school and attending the Dominica State College moved from a mere 7% in 2002 to 87% today. This is worth repeating. Do you know that it costs the government millions of dollars to ensure that this happens? 87% are at state college today. And we must recognize those efforts. Those getting bachelor degrees today, we're registering now 130.6% increase. And 90% of these students are supported by this government in whole or in part to do their studies, thanks to the government of the Labour Party being led by Roosevelt Scarrett, and the Ministry of Education led by none other than Right Honourable Peter Sensha. Thank you, Honourable Peter Sensha. I look forward to continue working with you as we move our constituency in Dominica forward with the support you have given us over the years. Mr. Speaker, and I'm deliberately noting these figures because even those who benefit sometimes claim they're not benefiting. $7.7 million was paid to contractual arrangement vehicles. We paid $7.7 million to private buses over the past couple of years, providing employment for these bus drivers, creating a business for them, a regular income coming to their homes and to their community. There are some of these guys who have built beautiful houses because they could have contracted a loan in the bank, thanks to they know that this regular contract every year will be signed, and they know exactly where their money is coming from. All of this is expanding the economy, Mr. Speaker. Of course, Mr. Speaker, and even when it comes to teacher training, I remember visiting Sansover School, and there were a skeleton staff on a Friday because at least 60% of the teachers were at Teachers Training College doing their programs. Thanks again to the government of Dominica, creating the enabling environment for them to get trained. And we see also in the secondary school level, 1,042 teachers were trained. So, Mr. Speaker, in education, the government has done tremendous work for people over the years. The Education Enhancement Project saw teachers being trained in technical and vocational subjects. And there are teachers, as we speak, being trained right now in Jamaica, in Trinidad, in Barbados, under the Education Enhancement Project, to come back to their schools and improve on the technical and vocational aspect of this training. My job as parliamentary representative is to ensure that my constituency take advantage of these opportunities. And I'll continue to fight for my constituency, and I'll continue to push, and I'll continue to give my people the drive to let them know that they must take advantage of these opportunities. We've seen presently between the Castlebrooks and Peter Superior Primary School, over 224 students are benefiting either in transportation, uniform, school feeding program as we speak. And this is significant, Madam Speaker. And the textbook program, Mr. Speaker. At the secondary school level, over 100 students are getting textbook assistance, uniform assistance, and so on every year, Mr. Speaker, to the tune of uniform assistance of $23,000, textbook assistance of $25,000 every year goes to students attending the Casabos Secondary School, Mr. Speaker. And not only that, the uniforms are being made by local seamstresses in the area. So they themselves are benefiting. Over 12 students presently are at university benefiting from the government of Dominica, either in full scholarship or part scholarship, as we speak, from the Casabos Secondary. And the ministry is still spending a lot of money in the Casabos Secondary on the school plants. Last year, we spent over $250,000 on the Casabos Secondary School. The Casabos Primary, we spent over $160,000 to do the total transformation of a section of the school and the toilet wing. Immediately after this budget, repairs will be done again to the Casabos Primary School. We'll be transforming the kitchen unit, and we'll be fixing up all the partitions and so on in the school, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the housing, I can tell you that from Pinisufio to Casabos, over $700,000 has gone into the housing repair program, thanks to the Minister of Housing, whom I will continue to keep busy. And I recall a lady saying to me that when she woke up one night, she accustomed of using her buckets and pail to collect her water. And when the shower burst around midnight, she dived for these containers, not realizing that earlier in the day, her entire house was covered, thanks to the government of Dominica. She no longer needed the buckets and the pails to put in the... Mr. Speaker, in the Casabos constituency and Dominica in general. The petrocasters we are building in Casabos, we will now be building concrete houses. We'll move from the petrocasters because of the material compromise. The recipients will soon be getting 10.
You have 5 minutes left.
Already? Already? Yes, I need more time.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Honourable member be given an additional 20 minutes to complete his presentation.
Second.
Second, Madam Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sorry.
It has been moved and seconded that our member be given a further 20 minutes to complete his presentation. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? You may continue.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And so, Mr. Speaker, I was saying that the petrocasters, the families are waiting. We have had to take a decision to move from the petrocaster structure to concrete houses. The estimate has been made. It has been presented to the ministry. The minister, we are preparing that after the budget, we will start the 10 petrocasters in Casabos. For the San Survey housing program, we will continue immediately after this budget. We have a contractor getting ready to do the crossing. Another contractor is going to be doing the road network, and then a few contractors will be contracted to do the houses in San Survey, sponsored by the Chinese government. Mr. Speaker, in the Casabos constituency as well, over $250,000 has gone into the bathroom program as a first phase, and a number of families are now comfortable, elderly family, with their bathroom units being attached to their houses. Some of them would have never been able to do that on their own. Thanks to the ministry, we have now been able to install bathroom facilities for them, and that will continue. As you know, governments now speaking of houses, building houses for the community, and the Casabos constituency will benefit under that. Mr. Speaker, under the Ministry of Public Works, Energy and Ports, which I am part of, and following a number of natural disasters in which lives were lost in the Casabos constituency, personal safety of the constituents became my priority. And I can tell you, Mr. Speaker, over $5 million have already been spent in the Casabos constituency on disaster mitigation work. And I intended to name a few of these projects which were done over the last 4 years in the Castlebrooks constituency, Mr. Speaker. We saw the construction of the Bayside Bridge in Gurup. At one of the disasters, the people in that area were totally cut off. We had to move as a matter of urgency, and we constructed a bridge for the people in Gurup. Maprin's River culvert stabilization. We saw the culvert in that area was seriously compromised by heavy rain, and we had to do some major works, almost $200,000 spent in that area. The Sansove retaining wall, another area in Sansove where the river took half of the road in a long section. We had to build a retaining wall that cost thousands of dollars as well. Brong culvert stabilization. That's an area called Brong just above Sansove, where again we were about to lose the entire road network in that area. We had to move in quickly and stabilize, replace all broken culverts, and did some major work in that area. Sansove Bridge stabilization. Over $250,000 had to be spent after we had heavy rains and we were about to lose the entire bridge network in Sansove. We spent over $250 setting up that area. Mopo concrete road pavement. This area was very waterlogged and we could do nothing with it using the asphalt concrete. We had to transform that section of the road using concrete and with wire mesh and so on in that area. Fomble retaining wall. Another area in the Fomble area in Pidisufuye where we were going to lose the road, entire road network, and we had to move quickly and build a major wall in that area costing well over $200,000. Castlebrooks Fomi Bridge. That bridge was destroyed by heavy rain and we had some difficulty with the farmers having access. We had to build this bridge. Fomble culvert replacement and retaining wall. Another area again in Pidisufuye where we were losing the entire road and the culvert network. We had to get emergency funds and do some major work there again. Excavation of Cochrane to Larry Sikri Road in Gurup. Today, Mr. Speaker, in Gurup you can drive right around Gurup. We broke the neck of that area where all we are remaining to do now is to do the proper pavement and culverting of that area. But vehicles can now pass there in case of emergency. Castlebrooks River dredging. You may recall that one of the years I spoke of the number of animals we lost when the entire Castlebrooks flat was flooded by heavy rain. We had to spend over $250,000 in the Castlebrooks River doing a dredging project. Monduku Castlebrooks culvert replacement and retaining wall. Another section of the road we were losing again because of heavy rains and so on, and we had to quickly move in. Good Hope, major mudslide and soil clearing of Baye and Savin Jack. When I came in as Barrep, one of the things that I was faced with is that we could lose half of the community if we did not tackle the mudslide and waterlogged area we had over the community. And I went into high gear and we spent over $200,000 just in this area. And Mr. Speaker, the list goes on and on and on. I am saying that to say, if I had to invest all of these monies that I mentioned into new roads and so on, oh, what a beautiful road network we would have in the entire community. But priority had to go to the safety of my people. And today, Gurup, Sansove, Pidisufuye, Brong, and Castlebrooks, they are safer areas. Of course, disaster will happen. We will have no control over it. And anything can happen in disasters. But we know that we have taken the right mechanism and mitigation measures to ensure the safety of our people. And our people are sleeping much safer because of all the work we have done throughout the constituency which create jobs as well, part-time jobs for our people, Madam Speaker. And so I'm happy that my ministry, the Ministry of Public Works, I'm working with Mr. Blackmore, we were able to come up with the funds to undertake this work, for sure, coming to that. Mr. Speaker, the Pidisufuye was a Link Road is a project, Madam Speaker, we will complete. As I speak, we have $4.4 million that is going to be invested right now into the project, immediately after the budget. And the important thing is that we will be hiring local contractors from the Pili Sufre area to undertake the road works in drainage and culverts and box culverts and bridges where applicable. But this work is going to be done by the local contractors of Pili Sufre. There is also funds for the blasting of Washmark as we speak of about $2 million. So a lot of work is going to be undertaken on the Pili Sufre link road in continuation immediately after the budget. Of course, the PPCR project, Madam Speaker, the much talk about PPCR project, and it was mentioned in the Prime Minister's address. $47 million will be coming into the Casablanca constituency area. As you heard the Prime Minister said in his address, work on the design will progress immediately or continues. We will see the road network from Pokase to the Tarishpi Junction as one phase, 7.7 million. Pokase to Casablanca, another 7.5 million. Casablanca to Pili Sufre, 13.5 million to stabilize all the rocks and falling areas that we have there, the culverts and all of them and so on will be replaced. And then Casablanca to Haddon Garden, another $15 million will go into that phase of the projects. So we are well on our way to see the entire transformation, and it will be the Casablanca leg of the overall 100% good road network that we speak about in this government every time, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in terms of fiscal measures that the Prime Minister mentioned, I just want to touch on a few. Reduction of import duties on baby wipes and disposable diapers. I am one of the persons who always say that the vast majority of elderly in the rural communities did not have the opportunity to work in the structured system where they have a retirement benefit. They did not pay any taxes because they were either farmers, fishers, plumbers, you name it. But for the most part, or they were housewives. But for the most part, they never earn a living within the structure where they would pay their taxes. As a matter of fact, we really owe the banana farmers a lot in this country. Because when the banana farming was at its heydays, they were paying a 3% levy to the government on every pound of banana. I remember that. But they were not paying no social security. So here we are, those of us who come in from rural communities, when 99% of our constituents were farmers. They've all retired. They're at home, and the stress is ours because we tried our best to fit them into the assistance program. And we are flooding the office with applications for our elderly because they're saying to us, more location. What that means, Madam Speaker, there's something now. They are coming of age, they're children overseas. They themselves are going through their own stressors out there. They can't send for them as they used to. The remittances are dropping down. And here comes the creativity of the Labour Party administration again with a $200 package to every one of these individuals who are 70 and over and have nothing to turn to. What a remarkable offer for the elderly people of this country who have worked so very hard, Madam Speaker. So I'm looking forward to this program being unfolded. As a matter of fact, I'm already getting calls because they're ready for me to come and get their names and so on. And I'm excited about it. And Mr. Darrow, knowing me, I'll go to them and get the names and so on. So we're looking forward to this measure. Not too long ago, I was at the cabinet asking for duty-free on 2 barrels of Pampers somebody sent for their loved one. This is going to be a thing of the past. My dear people, send the Pampers down now. Because they will just pick up the package of Pampers and take it home. Because there are persons overseas working just to take care of their elderly parents. Because we know it, because all of us live it. So they can now send them their packages. Don't be afraid. Put them in the barrel, in boxes, whatever way, and send the Pampers and diapers. Send them down to our people. Madam Speaker, the relief to pensioners and people of pensionable age who do not have pension, the I want to spend a little time, since my time is not is limited, on the Ministry of Agriculture and the drive towards expanding that industry, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, as we speak, there are several projects we are undertaking in preparation for the abattoir number 1, but in ensuring that we are self-sufficient in the pork and egg industry in our community, and egg and poultry in our community and in our constituency. I was impressed when I went last week on a farm, Stars Multi-Cooperative, and they're preparing to expand the piggery because they're preparing to have hundreds of pigs now, and so on, and it's working out well. And then they're using the irrigation project that we have with their chicken project. They're getting funds not only from the AIU, which they have benefited, they've gotten from the AIU, from the ministry, and from friendly government like the Australians and so on. And we have at least 4 projects coming on stream for young people in the pork and poultry industry after the budget presentation, Madam Speaker. The fertilizer from Morocco that we just distributed, the farmers said this is good fertilizer because they have seen the benefit in their farms, in their yams, in their potatoes, in their dashing, in their plantains, on the hills of Good Hope and Sons of Air. And Madam Speaker, this fertilizer was distributed by the farmers themselves, among themselves. They had their list of all the farmers in each of the areas, and they met and distributed the fertilizer among themselves so that all of them was able to benefit. They knew the farmers even better than the units, the agriculture units in the area, and they handled their fertilizer and they all benefited. As a matter of fact, it's the first time fertilizer went directly into Piditsufue and into Good Hope, and they didn't have to go down to Castlebrus and stand in a line and fight among themselves to see if they get some fertilizer. It was given to them directly in the community. So I'm looking forward to Morocco sending us another 4 ships of fertilizer, hopefully, so that we can continue the distribution of fertilizer for our people, because this is what friendly governments do. They help their people and so on. And so this has been very good for us as a people. I'm looking forward to the banana and plantain stabilization program that is coming through the BAM. I know we will expand in Castlebrus. A number of farms will be re-established, and the farmers will continue to benefit. We're also looking forward to Export Dominica coming on stream, where we'll be able to get more of our farmers getting the support that they need, and so on, Madam Speaker. And so I want to thank the Ministry of Agriculture for all what he's doing. In terms of the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sport, I want to thank the Minister for the support that is given to all the sporting programs that we have. As we speak, we are building a playing field for the young people of Piditsufue Good Hope in Sansove as part of the housing project that we are undertaking in Sansove. Most of the excavation work has taken place, and very soon we will have our very own playing field in Sansove for the people of Sansove Good Hope and Piditsufue. We have a project in with the Football Association for the lighting of Castlebrus playing field. We will light up the Castlebrus playing field in due course, and we are preparing for the expansion of the playing field so that we will play cricket, football independent of each other at the Castlebrus playing field. This project is well on its way, and we are looking at the possibility of a hard cut for Piditsufue and Good Hope in due course, Madam Speaker. We continue to benefit from the Yes We Care program. It's a joy to enter into the homes of the elderly with nobody caring for them from their family except the Yes We Care person who comes in every day, and to see how fresh the house is, how clean it is, the environment is clean, and the elderly, they are relaxed in their homes. And the last person I visited, I met the lady cooking for this gentleman, and I was so happy to see how relaxed the man was at his home being cared for by the Yes We Care people. We just unfold a major project of street lights. We've lighted up now you can walk from Deepa all the way to Piditsufue, thanks to the Ministry of Public Works. 29 street lights were placed just last month, and the people are happy because these people in those areas, they like to walk. That's what they do, and they can walk in absolute safety. So the future of the constituency, it is in good hands. And it's not going to change, Madam Speaker. It's not going to change. With the support of the people of the Castlebrooks constituency and the gains we have made, Johnson Drigo will be retained as a parliamentary representative for the Castlebrooks constituency. Because my work is not done yet, Madam Speaker. There's a lot of work to be done in the Castlebrooks constituency, and I will not be distracted in the process. So therefore, the noise around me will not distract me. I will continue to press on behalf of my people to ensure that this opportunity is being created by this government. We maximize it. As a matter of fact, one of the things I have been able to fight is the distraction in the constituency, which impedes some of the people from getting the benefit because they were staying behind. Because there were people making them believe it's not real. And while they're saying it's not real, people are benefiting. And so I have been able to fight that. And now everybody's excited and everybody's on board. We are pressing on and we are moving on. We will continue to develop our constituency by focusing on our youths. And our youths will benefit. They will do well at school because the opportunities are there, Madam Speaker, for them. And they will do well in life because of the opportunities being given to them by this government, which will catapult them into a better future, Madam Speaker. And therefore, we must ensure that we are not distracted and nobody will be allowed to derail the trajectory Dominica is on at this time. Whatever it takes, we will do it to ensure that this Labour Party continue to work for the people of Dominica. Of course, I am something baffled by some of the persons who criticize and say nothing is happening. Madam Speaker, in the Castlebrooks constituency, over $5 million over the past 4 years went into hotel resort development. And there's a business place called Sunrise Cottages, which got over $3 million because of a facility created by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit and the Labour Party government for the expansion of the hotel sector, and not only that, to create jobs in the rural communities. And so Sunrise is one of the best beneficiaries of that program. Today, Sunrise is able to create a few jobs thanks to the government of Dominica and the Labour Party government and so on. So you may hear Sunrise criticizing, but Sunrise has benefited. So every job created by Sunrise is a direct result of the policies of the Dominica Labour Party in tourism development, Madam Speaker. And this must be noted. And so, in going forward, I said to the people of the Castlebrooks constituency, let us look into the 2014-2015 real budget. The real budget. Let's see what's in it for us. Because no other budget has anything in it for you. Because it's not real. It's not real. So therefore, going forward, as the budget unfolds in education, in tourism, in agriculture, in industrial development, we will work together. We will come together as a constituency. We will come together as a community. And we'll continue to support each other so that we can get the maximum benefit from the 2014-2015 budget, which is designed for the advancement of us as a community, as a constituency, and as a nation. So I thank the people of Castlebrooks constituency for your support that you have given me. I look forward to working with you and enjoying the moment with you, enjoying your homes, enjoying your neighborhood, enjoying the families, and so on. Enjoying in good times and bad times, in sickness and in death. But I'm always there with you. I look forward to continuing that. And I say to the Dominican community, hold on to what you have. Hold on to what you have. You're not sure what you're going to get because you do not know any of those who want to come. Let us stick with the Dominican Labour Party so that we will move this country forward and will continue to be an example, an envy of those who wish they were like us. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and this I support the budget.